Right, so welcome back. I've just done a video on our CB connection, which is a mono headphone jack. The next thing that I want to look at is doing a stereo headphone socket. Okay, so we're going to do that so that we can plug in an external set of speakers into our intercom system. And I'm wanting this for whenever I take the Pinzgauer to a display or anything like that. I want to be able to play different communication setups across the different radios, and that intercom system will control 5 different radio systems. So I'm hoping that we can get a nice set of external speakers. I'm going to have lots of options just now before I need to buy the expensive military authentic ones to look the part, which are around about £70 a speaker, and I would probably need about 4 of them to make the job right in the vehicle. So we'll get to that point, but in the meantime, we're going to take one of our 7-pin plugs, right, off again, butchered off one of our spare sets of headsets that we bought as a big job lot, and on the other end, we're going to wire in a 3.5mm socket, which is one of these. So that we can then plug in our external computer speakers or anything else that we can run out of that. So again, with our wiring diagram that you'll see in the description below, okay, we're going to take our this time we're going to connect up the left and the right speaker and the speaker negative, okay, which is, so that is the orange wire, the blue wire, and the white wire we're going to work with. So blue, white, and orange. Okay, we're going to snip off our bits of strengthening cord that we've got in here, just to keep them out of the way. And again, we're going to insulate the ends of the wires we're not using so they can't touch anything else, which is going to be the black, the green, and the red wires. So we've got our black, green, and red ones insulated up there, and then we've got our orange, white, blue, and our sheathing earth as well, and we're going to solder 3 of them, the orange, the white, and the blue, and that into our plug. Okay. Again, I'm threading on a piece of shrink first of all, always have a think about the order you've got to put the plug back together in, so that you don't leave an item to the side that needs to be put on in a specific order in a specific place. So we've got that on. All right. I do away with the springs on these connectors, generally because I'm using the shrink connectors over the top of the fittings. Next, we need to put on our outer from our socket. Over all the wires. And we need to remember to put on our little clear insulation onto the whole lot as well. And we're going to need that later on. So that needs to be all pre-threaded on. So we're just going to connect up our white, blue and orange to our 3 pins on our jack plug. Again, a jack socket. Again, on the bottom of the description, there'll be the wiring diagram for this plug as well as for the 7 pin, just to make life easy for everybody. So we need soldering iron. This soldering iron stand's got quite a handy clamp on it, so we can hold what we're working on. Again, we're going to try and pre-solder things. Just makes life a little bit easier in a couple of minutes time. So we've done that. We'll strip our 3 ends. Put height shrink over the 2 different earths so that they're all insulated. I try to use the hot air gun for shrinking as much as possible. However, I've only got one socket here, so my soldering iron would cool down a lot in the time that it would take to just swap over the plug and get everything sorted. So I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. So we've got our earth there. We're going to just give that wire a little pre-solder. It's just going to keep the threads of the cable slightly tighter together. Make things just a little bit. Right, so that's that earth finally on. So again, not the prettiest display of soldering, but we're connected up our 3 wires there, and we'll then clear plastic. So our clear plastic cover goes on, and I don't include my 3 yellow insulated ones in that. Okay, we put our outer over the top. screw that over nice and tight. And then we're going to put our heat shrink over to check that everything is nice and secure. Tuck everything away. Right, so we've got the cable we just made plugged in, so it's into our speaker output. Okay, connected into a 3.5mm jack into that set of computer speakers. We've also got our CB connected up with our previously made cable. So if we turn the CB on, turn the volume down a bit. Right, so I've got the static from the CB playing out of our two speakers, okay, and also all the you can hear the channel changing beeps as well from the handset. So that's going to give us output from all of the devices that are plugged into our system. Okay, I've had a quick go and it doesn't broadcast from the mic on the headsets, so you couldn't use them as a demonstrator, you know, standing as a PA. You can do that, but that's something we can look at as we go forward. So really happy with that second cable that we've made, our Clansman 7-pin type to our 3.5mm socket, all singing and dancing. So that's two really good handy cables that we've made up, and we've got one more that we're going to have a go at before we try into our big build, which is our stereo input into our radio system.